Daredevil Born Again trailer explodes as fans pray for hope after the latest Marvel disaster. Gonna go ahead and get right into this. Welcome back to Views with Hughes, Culture and News. This is Jerome Hughes. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, as many of you know, the new Disney Plus series Daredevil Born Again has dropped the Daredevil Born Again trailer, and it has everyone talking. Now, if you've actually been following the Marvel Cinematic Universe for over the last few years or so, I mean, you've probably noticed things haven't exactly been smooth sailing. See, it's like the magic that made the earlier phases so special has been replaced with the formula that's not working, which is wokeism for anybody. You see, people are frustrated, disappointed, and frankly running out of patience, and then they go and announce this, Daredevil project. Cue the mixed reactions. Okay, now let's be honest here. When Marvel first said that, they were bringing back Daredevil and with a lot of the same actors from the Netflix series, well, people had questions, some serious questions, not surprising at all and understandable. Now, was this the right move? Could they possibly recapture the magic of the original? Or was this just going to be another example of Marvel butchering something that the fans hold dear? Now, it didn't help when we found out halfway through the production that, well, they decided to go ahead and just scrap everything they had filmed. And we're talking 6 or 7 full episodes and start completely from scratch. I mean, haven't really heard of anybody doing that. You see, they fired the original creative team, brought in some new folks, and reworked the whole thing. And it was chaos, and naturally fans were left scratching their heads in confusion, wondering what in the world was going on with Daredevil Born Again. All right. Now, fast forward to today, and as we've seen, we've got a brand new trailer for Daredevil Born Again. And I'll admit, when I first clicked play, I wasn't really sure what to expect. Now, would this be, another watered down Disney-fied version of the beloved character? Or would Daredevil Born Again just simply be something that actually gets, the fans excited once again? But we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell notifications so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Now, if you've watched this trailer, if you haven't, the trailer starts off with Matt Murdock, who plays Daredevil, Daredevil, and Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Now, right away, it's clear that they're leaning into the gritty, violent tone that made the Netflix series so popular. As a matter of fact, this particular series seems like, it's not at all girl boss. Okay, seems like they might have left the whole girl boss mantra behind, but I don't know. They're definitely known for their famous bait and switch. Now there's blood, there's tension, and there's that undeniable chemistry between Charlie Cox as well as Vincent D'Onofrio. Now, and it simply works. But hearing their dialogue again, seeing them face off, it feels like, a glimpse of the good old days. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. A good trailer doesn't necessarily guarantee a good show, especially when we've actually been burned before with other Marvel projects. Now, the real test would be if Daredevil Born Again actually lives up to the hype itself. Okay, now, one of the biggest concerns that people had when, Daredevil Born Again was first announced was the absence of, certain characters. Say, for example, Foggy Nelson, as well as Karen Page, 2 of the most important people in Matt Murdock's life. They weren't originally, supposed to be in the series itself. Now, then that's when the fans got furious, and they're wondering, how could you do Daredevil Born Again without Foggy and Karen? That's like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the jelly. Except and that's what I call a choke sandwich, by the way. It doesn't work. You see, thankfully, it seems like Marvel actually listened to the backlash itself, because now we know that they're back, and how will their roles actually be remains to be seen, but at least they're in the picture at the end, and that's a huge win for Daredevil Born Again. Okay, Now, what's also mad is that the fact that Jon Bernthal as the Punisher has returned. Now, if you watched the Netflix series before, you'll know that Bernthal's portrayal of Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, was incredible. Now, this dude brought an intensity to the role itself that made it impossible to actually look away. Now, seeing him back in action in Daredevil Born Again is a definite plus, but it also raises some questions. Why did Daredevil stop being a vigilante, and did someone close to him die? Did something, happen to him that made him hang up the mask? The trailer hints at all these questions, but it doesn't necessarily give us any solid answers. And honestly, I mean, that's fine for now, but it's better to leave some mystery than to just give everything away up front. You see, Daredevil Born Again clearly wants to go ahead and keep fans guessing and also have them speculate. But of course, the elephant in the room is how badly Marvel has mishandled some of these, characters in the past. Now, you all remember, Kingpin's appearance in Hawkeye, right? Yeah, I'll admit that was a bit rough. There, as I heard, they took one of the most intimidated villains in Marvel history and just simply turned him into a bit of a caricature. And let's not even talk about Daredevil's cameo and She-Hulk. That right there in itself was a disaster. People like myself wanted a gritty, no nonsense Daredevil that they fell in love with on Netflix, not some, goofy, watered down version that actually feels out of place in the MCU. And that's good. And the good news itself is that the Daredevil Born Again trailer seems to be steering things back in the right direction. The fight scenes do look brutal, the tone is dark, and guess what? The stakes definitely feel real, exactly what fans want from Daredevil Born Again. But will the series deliver? I mean, who knows? But as a standalone piece of marketing, it's pretty solid. It does a good job of setting the stage and giving fans a taste, of what's to come. But then there's tension, drama, and just enough action to actually whet your appetite without spoiling too much. You see, but the real question is whether Daredevil Born Again can actually deliver on what the trailer is promising. You see, Marvel under Kevin Feige has had a bad habit of putting out great trailers for shows and movies that end up being mediocre at best. Just another bait and switch. And look at the last 5 years of the MCU content. It's actually been a mixed bag, to say the least. And I mean, at least this time, Daredevil Born Again has a lot riding on it. You see, one thing that a lot of people appreciate is that, the trailer doesn't exactly shy away from the violence. Now, one of the reasons the Netflix series was so successful was its willingness to go ahead and embrace the darker side of Daredevil's story. Now, this isn't, Spider-Man or Captain America. You see, Daredevil's world is messy, brutal, and often heartbreaking. Now, if Daredevil Born Again can capture that same spirit, then it might just win back some of the fans who've actually grown disillusioned and frustrated with Marvel. But that's right there a big if. But then there's also another thing to consider, and that's how Marvel's recent track record itself might affect people's willingness to go ahead and just give this show a chance. Now, after so many disappointing projects, fans are understandably skeptical. Even if the trailer looks good, I mean, let's be honest here. There's a lingering doubt in the back of everyone's mind. You see, can Daredevil Born Again really pull this off? Or is this just another attempt for Marvel to go ahead and cash in on nostalgia without delivering anything of any substance? I mean, let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below, but only time will tell. But Daredevil Born Again needs to be exceptional to actually overcome that fan skepticism. So basically, just to sum it all up, I mean, it seems that Daredevil Born Again trailer is a step in the right direction. It's dark, it's gritty, it seems to actually respect the legacy of the Netflix series itself, but Marvel has a lot to prove. They need to go ahead and show fans that they're serious about delivering quality content and not just churning out, mediocre shows just to fill up Disney Plus. Now, if they can do that, then Daredevil Born Again might just be the thing that reignites people's love for the MCU. If not, well, it'll be yet another disappointment in a long line of missed opportunities. So Be honest with me. What do you think? Are you actually excited about Daredevil Born Again? Do you think that Marvel can recapture the magic of the Netflix series? Is it close to the comics, or are you just bracing yourself for another letdown? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts and details in the comment section below. If you enjoyed what was shared in this video, go ahead and smash the like button and share the video far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell notification so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.